air traffic control is like very high stress. Hundreds of airports across the country. Be top of your class, obviously. Aww. So it's a cute little story.
Okay, hello guys. Welcome to Dorm Room 101 podcast. I am your girl Victoria. This is the podcast that has everything and nothing to do about college. I am with my co-host Maya Gittins.
Hi.
And today we have a special guest today, Brianna.
I'm back.
I'm back. Oh my god, it is so great to have you back. I know you're on break obviously right now, but
yes.
How is like break? How is the Christmas break? Like how was it?
Oh, I've been loving it. I don't want to go back at all, but like if I want my degree, I got to get to business.
You got to get to the bag.
Period.
Well, for those that don't know, Brianna, tell us about your college experience as you are in college right now.
Okay, so I'll give y'all my Hampton intro. My name is Brianna McLeod. I am a
last name? Okay, go ahead.
Was that crazy?
Go ahead.
Was that crazy?
Government is kind of crazy, but...
Okay, anyways, my name is Brianna. I'm a third year.
You gotta say it like...
Yeah, you gotta say it. Go ahead. You gotta just do it.
They gotta know who you are.
My name is Brianna McLeod. I am a third year aviation management major with a concentration in air traffic control from Brooklyn, New York. I attend Hampton University. And yeah, the past 3 years have been eye-opening, but really fun. I think college is just like a big lesson. And obviously there's different, segments that you go through, eras that you go through. But yeah, I've been really enjoying my time. I'm learning a lot about myself and, my priorities and where I want to be in life and how successful I want to be. And yeah, I'm actually really loving it.
Really? So how do you feel about like air traffic? Look, I'm trying to get around. Air traffic control. Like what made you get into that major? Because first of all, I've never heard of it until you told me, and I was like, this bitch is going to school.
It's not like a job that a lot of people know. It's a very obscure job, but I love telling this story. So when I'll start with this. My mom always had me in Girl Scouts, and I've been there since I was like the age of, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5. And when I was 9 years old, my mom signed me up for this like girls in STEM kind of career day thing at Vaughn College, which is in Queens. And it's an aeronautical college. So we were going around doing the little rotations, whatever. And one of them just happened to be like an air traffic control simulator.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know. After that, I think I saw it and I was just like, this is what I want to do. And then after the little program, me and my mom like watched the planes land because LaGuardia's like right there. Yeah. So it's a cute little story.
It's such a moment.
But yeah, I don't know what like clicked. 9.
9?
Yeah.
9 years old. And you just...
She carried that throughout.
She was like, this is what I'm going to do.
And what's crazy is like I had that experience and then I had never like seen really like air traffic control after that until obviously it was like time to apply to colleges and stuff because I knew before that I wanted to do dance. Yeah. And I danced in high school and stuff, but I still knew that it's not something I wanted to pursue as a career, but like air traffic control was where the money was. Nerd for planes.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it's where the money is.
Yeah. That's where the money at. But that's so insane that like at 9 years old, like that is something that you're like, okay, I want to do this. But in college or like in high school, there was nothing.
Yeah, like at all. Like
wow.
And I think that's something too. Like we grow up and they always be like, oh, like what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And we'll say like, oh, I want to be this, and then like we change it. So the fact that like you're 9 years old and you still
stuck with
it, which is insane. Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm gonna be a photographer, then I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna clean people's teeth. Like, and then now I'm like, I do communications
and content. Yeah.
Content is an overkill, but
content girly, please.
Like, I want to be a content girly. Like, that is my 2024 resolution, or not resolution, but that's definitely one thing on my bucket list. Is like I want to start doing content for myself. But I just gotta figure out like what content I want to do because I like day in lives. Like, I can watch somebody do a day in life video and just sit there and be like, wow, like. Once again, I always say Monet.
Please.
Like, I can watch her like, I can literally sit Sunday and watch that entire video and like I need more. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Monet's going crazy right now.
Bro,
too.
she is lit.
Yeah.
Bro, congratulations to her. Like, she's doing amazing.
Yeah. Her life. I want it. I want it.
Grab it, take it. Like, that, hands down, like, she's doing her thing for sure. And the fact that First of all, the fact that Monet went to college.
Yeah.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she went to college. She
studied nursing.
Yeah, and then, like, really, really got into content. and just like skyrocketed. Like, just imagine, like, you're going to school, you're paying thousands of dollars to go to school, to go to nursing, like, to do nursing. That's already hard in itself.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm gonna do content, and now you're making more money than you would have made as a nurse.
Yeah.
Like, wow. But but back to, you know, air traffic control and being like 9. So that is probably like the first time you just fell in love with like air traffic control.
I mean, my mom the other day told me this story because we were literally flying to Jamaica for a vacation, and she was like, when you were like a very small child, I think it's when we had like the family trip to Florida, but
that I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither. But she was like, you wanted to sit by the window like when you were younger, and that's something that I still do to this day. Like, if I'm getting on a plane, do not put me in the aisle seat. Don't book a flight and I'm in the aisle seat, because I'll literally have a panic attack. But
really,
yeah, I just like the window. But
just like looking at it, like outside.
I don't know. It's just something of. It's like it's a plane, and it's like. It's really not, I mean, there's a lot of mechanics that go into it, but like, you know, people on the day-to-day basis, they're not thinking about like the structure of a plane, and like they just get on a plane and fly.
Yeah.
Like they're not thinking about all the in-between parts and like what it takes to your plane to land. I mean, take off from where you're from and then land safely in a completely different like space. Like, yeah.
I don't know. Do you ever get like anxiety when you do like fly and stuff? So like, cause you know so much about it.
The only thing is, I mean, it's the craziest thing because I love planes, but I don't like flying. Like, if I don't have to fly, then I won't. Yeah. But I've had to get used to that because, like, I had to fly home from my school to, like, during breaks and stuff. But in terms of my anxiety on, like, a flight, like, I just try to, like, calm myself down. I'm like, the pilot's in control.
Yeah.
The air traffic controller's in control. And I don't think it's like turbulence and stuff. That's still a little like shaky to me, but I know the dynamics of the plane and it's not just gonna like fall out of the sky. But yeah, I'm like, I don't need to like worry about anything unless like the flight attendants are crazy. Yeah.
It's so interesting. Like, I'm actually mind boggled because like now I'm like, bitch, when I get on the plane, like, what's going on?
Nobody thinks about it. Like, you just get on the plane and go. But there's so many different like parts to traveling, period.
To get in the air, to get it down, like, that's insane.
From even when you're going, like, you get on the plane and you're just taxiing, like, to the runway before you even take off, like, that's being...
Traffic, or, like...
Yeah, that's a part of air traffic control.
Wow, okay, so what would be, like, what kind of classes do you take?
Okay, so currently I take lab, so I'm taking a terminal ops radar lab. I've taken terminal ops tower lab. I take things like flight safety. What else have I take? Crew resource management and like aviation foundations, private pilot ground school, which isn't really towards my like career path, but it's something that I have to take and be aware of regardless because it's all one system, whether you're a pilot, air traffic control, or just doing management. But yeah, like my radar classes are really fun. That's where I'm actually like putting into practice what I'm taught in class, phraseology that I'm taught, and like applying it to like a scenario.
You're using a lot of big words. Like, you said something, not rheology, something else you said, and I was like,
radar?
No, you said something else.
Terminal ops?
No.
What did I say?
Damn, I don't even remember. But I was listening and I was like, what the fuck is she talking about?
I'm weak.
Like, and it's so crazy because like I think that's like we talked in one of our episodes about like how I'm like really I light up about like being in sports, and I can see like how you light up about the air traffic control and like what you do. It is so mind-boggling to just see like, oh, like you can see what people are like really passionate about, and then what people are like, oh, like this is just like something that I do for fun or like just to kind of like pass the time. Like I could see that like this is something that you really like. Oh, this is what I'm doing for this class, and like, you know, you genuinely enjoy it. And like I said, since 9, I was thinking about 20 different other things at 9. Like there was so many other things that I was like, I just wanted to try so many things, and then I still get older and I'm still trying to like try 20 different things, even though
figure it out.
You know.
But this is the time, you know.
Yeah, we talked about that. Your 20s are definitely like, you know, and you know you're about to be 21.
Yes.
So excited.
Finally.
Like, finally, like now I can just like, I I don't have to go out with anybody else, so I'll take Brianna.
Yeah.
Be like my brother, like, hey, you wanna? No, bye. Get out my face. I'll just wait until Brianna gets home.
Please.
But like overall, with I guess air traffic control and stuff like that, like what would be like where would you want to go? Like I know like is there like bases like because it sounds like not the military, but like I think that
because it's still under the government, right? It's the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, and obviously before I really went into this, like I didn't think about where I could possibly be because at the end of the day, air traffic control, there's hundreds of airports across the country, and some of them I'm not gonna be happy going to, but so the process is you basically go to training for it. Right now I'm in a CTI program, which is it's basically by the FAA, it's certified as like a so I don't know all the details, but so I go to the CTI program, I graduate, and I'm just in basically a different pool.
Okay.
So there's pool 1 and pool 2. Pool 1 is basically people who are like, people who don't go to school for air traffic control. But me, I'm going to graduate with a degree in it, so I have basically a bit of leverage over the other pool. You take a test. It's called the ATSA test. I think it stands for Air Traffic Skills Assessment Test. And we take that, and you have to be top of your class, obviously. And those who are at the top basically get to choose what facility they go to first. So whatever, they give you a list of the facilities, and whoever's at the top gets first choice, and then second and third, and then basically whoever, like, if you don't do as well, there's a possibility that you end up with, like...
something you don't really like.
Yeah, or just whatever's left available. So, yeah, you can end up pretty much
So once
anywhere.
You graduate, you pretty much just already have a job?
No. I wish it was that way, but I still do have to go through training from the actual, like, FAA.
Okay.
Which is like a school, they have the schoolhouse in Oklahoma. So after here, I would...
Damn, you're leaving again? All right.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. After here, I would apply and take the test, and then I get trained, and then I have to take another test, and then I'll be able to, like, choose where I want to be, which is very scary.
Wow. So you have to, like, go through all these...
It seems like test after test.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like any other, like, nursing, law school. Like, you got to be at a certain caliber in order to do that job that you want, especially because air traffic control is, like, very high stress levels. Like, people's lives are at risk. So,
do you get, like, mostly, like, math classes and science classes, or, like, how does that work?
So it's, like, combined with my regular like aviation classes, and then I obviously take like the regular like gen ed classes that are on campus. So like I've taken like written communications. Right now I'm actually going into, for this semester, I'll be taking pre-calculus. And what's crazy is I haven't taken a math class since high school. So I'm kind of crapping my pants about it, but
you got it.
Yeah, it's just regular like gen ed classes and along with the aviation classes. Yeah.
Okay. And what year are you in?
Third.
Okay.
And we got one more.
Girl, it's flying by. And I don't want to talk about it. Junior year is going by way too fast. College period is going by way too fast. But yeah.
Okay.
Senior.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
that's insane. I literally feel like I just got into college, and now I'm like back to square one where I need to figure out what the hell I'm about to do in my life.
Honestly. So what does it feel like? Because I know that we spoke about like kind of like your major and how it's majority men.
Yes.
So how do you feel about that and being like, a certain percentage in like even in just your school per se, and in general having that percentage where it's like as a woman you basically have to prove yourself all over again?
Yeah. So honestly, if I think about it, I'm really not that intimidated by the fact that it's like male dominated. Of course they just say that, and it's true. It is a male dominated like career, but at Hampton, I mean the ratio is already actually predominantly more women than men.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't feel like there's like this huge difference, but I mean in my department is very, very small. There is a lot more boys than it is girls. But it's never been an issue where it's like, oh, I'm where it's like an ego thing where people are like, oh, I'm a man, I'm better than you, or I do this, or I know more than you, whatever. It's never been that. Like it's been very, where I'm at least, it's been very supportive, like where it's a community, like a small, tight-knit community where we know each other personally. And I mean, here on after, I would hope I wouldn't face any like difficulties in terms of me being a female and a Black female on top of that. Yeah. Because, you know, people don't like women and they don't like Black women either. But, you know, it's okay. I'm still gonna face through adversity.
Exactly. So, as you should.
Yeah. I mean, males are here, but women are too. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. In order to get here, you need to go through a woman's punani anyways.
Yeah.
You know?
You sure do.
You sure do.
The men, just as the world needs men, they need women too. So.
Period.
Yeah.
No, for real. I feel like that's a different topic. Anyway, I was literally about to like plummet somewhere completely different. And I was like, square one, get back to it. What would you say is like the hardest thing you've had to endure so far when it comes to like your classes and like school?
The hardest part, you mean like school in general, or you just mean like air traffic control?
Like air traffic control.
Excuse me. The hardest part definitely has been, I'll say, implementing all the things that I've learned and applying that to like real life scenarios. So yeah, the lab can be super fun and, you know, we have a good time, but this is to be taken serious at the end of the day, because if this is what I want to pursue, then I need to make sure I have all the knowledge and the abilities and the skills to have a successful career in air traffic control. So yeah, the hardest part is definitely bringing in those topics where the things that we need to learn and then applying them, and then it just continuously like building. Because for example, when I was a freshman, we learned something in radar lab, which is called approaches, which is like the basic of a plane coming into land at an airport. Okay. And then that was kind of easy getting down the phraseology and where it's going and what's the fixes and blah, blah, blah. But after that, then we have to implement something else, which is departures. And that's just basically the plane leaving the airport. But then it becomes, you have to make sure this plane goes in front of this plane, sequencing. This little plane can get blown out by this big plane because of the engines. Like,
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like, it's a lot in terms of like the rules and stuff and the phraseology. It just keeps on building stuff that you would literally never think of. Yeah. And it's
You're
like,
just sitting on the plane like, I'm
minding my business,
minding my business.
Eating,
not
watching
realizing,
movies.
I don't know. Now I'm like, I'm gonna get on the plane and be like, y'all good? Like the air traffic people, y'all good? Like I'm gonna get on the plane and be like, he gonna be like, what the fuck do you know? Listen, I just want to know. I just want to make sure I get there and get back safely. You know, make sure the little plane is not in front of the big plane. That's all.
Right. Like, there's just so many, like, it just grows and grows and builds and builds. But I mean, you just have to study, hone your craft, practice, and you'll get it down eventually. Like, I wouldn't say that there's not times that I still don't mess up on a lab or I don't know what I'm doing, but it's just about asking your professor, you know, reading your information that you need to, and then just getting that practice in. But yeah, that's the difficult part. All that stuff that just keeps, like,
to build like that. I would be like, like, you know, obviously, like, for me, it's like when you're passionate about something, like, you will go through like whatever you need to do to kind of like, you know, get to where you want to be. Yeah. But it's so difficult to like those sleepless nights and like you're just like, bro, like I just want to get to where I need to be. But it's like it takes freaking, you know, trials and tribulations to kind of get to where, you know, the end goal is. And half the time that end goal is not even the actual end goal. Yeah. So I think it's interesting to hear you say like, you know, you have to take this test, and that's not even it. Then I got to do this. Like, afterwards, there's just so many things. It's like, that's how, unfortunately, life is too. Where I feel like when I sit down and I look at what I'm doing, and it's like, okay, I graduated college. For me, and this, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, it was like, oh, I graduated college. My degree means something. It's going to give me leverage, and I'm going to get a job. That did not happen. So for me, when it didn't happen, it was kind of like, oh, like, I have to figure something out. And it's like the fact that, like, nurses, law students, it's like they are literally taking these tests to just get to where they need to be. Me, it's like, I just need my degree. Once my degree, then I kind of got to take the steps myself to kind of do that. It's like y'all have to study.
Yeah, there's
like I couldn't.
Yeah, and I'm super hard on myself, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
So like even I got like on my midterm or something, I got like an 80 on our lab.
Yeah.
And I like freaked out. I'm like,
girl, I would have been like, yes.
Right.
I'd have been like, yes.
It's crazy. I'm like, an 80 something should be just fine. But like the first time after that test, like I was legitimately like tweaking because I'm like, this is not good enough. I started having like doubts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what, too? Like when you take so much time studying a test, it's like, how did I not get a higher grade?
Yeah, that too. So I'm like, I know the information. So it's like, why are the results not reflecting that?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's live and you learn. Take it day by day, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. What would you say, like, if you were talking about like you're so hard on yourself, obviously you're going to be doing this. We're going to speak it. This is going to be your job. Like, this is what you're going to do. And obviously you getting into the world where like, I know it's probably going to be like bittersweet to like sit, you know, like into what you worked so hard for. I think that's always like such a like one of those moments. How do you feel about like once you get there? How do you feel like you would feel? Like if you could imagine like right now the feeling of like passing the classes, getting like the job you wanted, getting where you want it to be based at, like how do you think you would feel?
Oh, 100% happy. Because that's all I want in my life is to be happy. But yeah, I'd be ecstatic. I'm not going to lie. I think right now thinking about it, I'd be super ecstatic. But in the moment, obviously once I get into the swing of things and I actually learn like the area I'm in and the facility I'm at, things may change.
Yeah.
But I mean, change is inevitable. But yeah, I would be 100% happy because that means that I did what I needed to do to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's... I'm about to get teary-eyed. Like,
period.
What? Like, that's all I want to do. Oh, my God. What?
As you should, though.
Right.
Like,
you're going to look back at this and you're going to be like, wow. Like,
that's a huge accomplishment, too. Like, and I say this for everybody. Like, when you go to college, I don't think people understand. Like, even the people that I feel like even drop out and then go back. Yeah. Going to college is, besides life, college is one of the hardest times, I feel like, of your life because you are literally there to figure out who you are. And it's one of those things where it's like, you might not even be like, this might not be for me. Yeah. And you're getting there and you're like, but I got to figure something out. And to sit down in a class and feel like, I have no idea what I'm doing or what I'm going to do next. And to be, I always say, like, surround yourself with people who are uplifting because it's going to benefit a lot. Like, even being around Victoria, I think, for me personally, I feel like she showed me a lot. And I, like, when it came to, like, being at SOBs and stuff like that, like, she was like, Maya, come outside. And I'd be like, I really don't want to, like, come. Like, I'm only there. Like, plus we weren't getting paid. So it was like, when I tell you, it was like, bro, like, I'm literally here for absolutely no reason. Like, money's not coming in my pocket. Like, but then you realize in the industry that we're trying to work in and stuff, sports, music, whatever, it's like, bro, so you got to be unpaid. Like, that's just not an option. Like, being unpaid is literally what you have to do. And at the time, I was very stubborn, and I was like, bro, no. But I feel like Victoria definitely helped me realize, like, listen, girl, like, we got to get it somehow, some way. Like, and it was hard.
Yeah, everything is a learning experience.
Yeah.
You know?
It was definitely hard, and I definitely know that seeing how hard you work and stuff like that, even when you come home and you're like, bro, I just need to sleep all day. Like, I get it. Yeah. Because being away at college and, like, you're literally working Monday through Sunday, and then you have to be a young adult and you want to have fun. Yeah. Like, that is the time to do it because when you come out of college, you're going to have to grind from at least, 20, 21? I'm going to say 21 because usually people 21. 21 to at least 20, 27, 26. So it's like, you literally, those 4 years are the times, like, you better learn, but you better do everything. You better get everything out. Because it's like, what else can you do? Like, you're going to have to grind. You're going to come out of college, like, fucking crying, sweating, tears, blood, like, all of that. So I do commend you because, girl, air traffic control does not sound like an easy thing to get into. And the fact that, like, you're so passionate about it, it's amazing. Literally. Yeah. Like,
because, you know, everybody, the only thing is, what really gets me is when people typically are like, they ask me what I want to do, and one, they don't know, which is fine. Yeah. Just educate you a little bit. Or two, they're like, oh, well, you know this and this and this. And I'm like, you don't have to tell me
Yeah.
about my my career. Like, oh, it's so high, like stress level. Like, are you able to handle that? Like, if I didn't want to go into it, I would have been choosing something else. So
And I did it this whole time. Like, why are you telling me now?
like-
Like, the stress is already there. I'm gonna get it done.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, this is my business. First of all, like I said the last time, drink your water and mind your business. But literally, like, you don't have to tell me. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I need to learn. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. And I'm going to get there regardless whether you think I'm for it or not.
Yeah, I think another thing too, like when it comes to like anything that's like in that field or like nursing or like any of that, a lot of people go into it and they're like, oh, I just want the money.
Yeah.
So,
and you can't do that.
To see someone and they're so passionate about it, it's kind of like, because, you know, there's so many people that they're like, oh, you know, I just want to do it for the money. And they put themselves through that stress and stuff. And they don't really want to do it. And then they end up dropping out and stuff. So it's someone like you is totally different because this is something you're passionate about. So you're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
Despite what people are literally saying or what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But what are 3 pieces of advice?
I wrote them down.
I wrote them down. Period. What 3 pieces of advice would you give to somebody who's like, you know, trying to get into maybe air traffic control? Honestly, had no idea that this is even a thing, and like, oh, I kind of want to not try it. Don't just try it, okay? But you know, day to day, that lifestyle.
So first off, my major thing obviously is hone your craft. Work on what you need to in order to get you there, because you can say, like you said, people are like, oh, I'm in it for money, or they say they want to do this or whatever, but you can have that goal, but you also need the steps.
Yeah.
So hone your craft, work on it, study, if that's you writing or drawing more, or even for me where I consistently get in the lab and I feel like if I need more practice on this, then I'll go ahead and take the steps that I need to, that are necessary to get there. Then big number 1 is hone your craft. Number 2, I would say, is time management and multitasking. I know for me, multitasking is a major thing that I'm going to have to deal with in terms of my career.
Yeah.
So if you get down organizing and planning, that literally improves your productivity. Yeah.
Productivity, yeah.
Yeah.
Girl,
that literally,
you know, don't ask me.
Please. And it's something that obviously I feel like everybody learns, especially regardless if you're in school or not, as we grow up and we, you know, get all these responsibilities, you have to learn how to basically time manage. And my last one would be confidence. Always have confidence, which is something I'm working on myself. But air traffic controllers specifically are known to have this like type A personality where they kind of don't let people, you know, do whatever, or because we have to be able to speak up and let people know, like, you need to follow my instructions, or else X, Y, and Z will happen. So just being confident, and even in your day-to-day life, like, just walk with grace and walk with dignity. And I
like that. I think that is definitely something that I will definitely take, especially the confidence part. Like, I think this podcast has definitely made me more confident in speaking, even though I did go to school for communications. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to communicate, and I think with this generation as well, like, we're always on our phones. So I think talking is not something that we do often, especially when it comes to in person and stuff. We've been on Zoom for so long.
Especially
like
after pandemic.
After the pandemic, it's like our personable skills is not the best. So working on it for sure.
Confidence.
And
it's okay to be loud and wrong. I've been there before. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but it builds character.
Okay. I like that.
I like that.
I do, because there's been times where it's like, you don't want to be wrong, but it's like, okay, you made a mistake. Like, but you just got to be able to own that mistake as well.
Yeah. And what are you gonna do to change it? You know.
Yeah.
So you don't do that again.
Right. A lot of people don't take accountability.
People don't take
we live in cancel culture.
Yeah, like literally get canceled so fast. But thank you so much for being on this pod again.
Thanks.
I don't know. I think the last part, it was like, you know, your transition from college to high school and stuff like that. But just to hear how passionate you are about air traffic control, like,
and the
just
fact
like
that I was about to cry on here is insane.
Like, I think just seeing that made me realize, like, okay, like, this is such a good way to get people from like every major possible, because you just never know who might be interested.
Yeah.
Like, never, because if I didn't hear from you, I didn't know what air traffic control was.
Yeah.
So just, like, to hear, like, what you do and, like, what you're passionate about, and girl, 9, like, damn. I wish. But yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Right.
Thanks for having me. It was so fun.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dorm Room 101 podcast, a podcast that has everything and nothing to do about college. I am once again your girl Maya Gittins, and of course Victoria and our guest today, Brianna. And we will see you guys in our next video or audio, whichever one you think is best for you. Okay?
Bye.
Bye.